After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 495. Today is Monday, March 7th, 2022, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Tolly, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad you found us. We hope you find something that you like and that you will continue to join us. If you are returning, we're always glad to see you, in quotes. And if you are new or returning and you are in the shadows, please feel free to press the little subscribe button on your right, I think it's a little red button, and tap the little bell so you can get notifications if you'd like to do that. And if you'd like to take part in the alongs and the giveaways if we have them, or just general camaraderie, that's all at our homepage, and that's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and that's where we do, if you want to take part in the alongs, be eligible for prizes, just have a lot of fun, that's over there. Okay, that's in the description box below the video. Okay.
I have 5 projects.
I have 7. Okay, so I think that's basically what we had before.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is what my daughter's head looks like, which is an oboe, and yes, it is a story for those of you who are new. Okay. I have,
That makes it sound like this whole huge story, but
it's
just
not.
like not.
It's an antidote, if you will.
Not an antidote. An antidote is what you give for antidote.
Yes, anecdote.
Anecdote. There we go.
Okay.
Because antidote is something entirely different.
Anyway, this is an Adagio fandom blend. That means somebody used what they had available, and what Adagio made available to them, and made this blend. And this is called Flourished, and it's got almond, caramel, and butterscotch, and coconut. Okay, so she suggested I steep for 4 minutes at 190, which I did. And I wasn't sure I was going to like this, but as it sits, it gets better.
Well, you said that's one thing that you've learned.
Oh yeah, caramel. The caramel is forefront, and butterscotch is out just a little bit, and the coconut has receded almost entirely. You want to taste it?
Yeah, if you put it down. That's something that she's learned, because she used to just drink it as fast as she could while it was hot. Now she's learned that patience is a virtue.
But that's how tea is supposed to be drunk, if it's hot. Drunk.
Drink. It's okay. It's not really my thing, but
I like it. I likes it. I'd give it about a 4. Maybe 4.5.
Now I have in my Memento Mori mug, this is the same tea I have for breakfast because our water's been an issue, so I just re-steep my tea for breakfast.
Yeah, I think they're doing some work across. Okay, our street goes like this. There's a street here that we have to cross to go to the other side of our street. So on that side, they've got the road closed, and I think they're working on pipes or something.
If you do anything with the water, it sounds like our toilet's going to explode.
Mm-hmm. It makes all kinds of really weird noises.
Well, the funny thing is, I was just sitting in the house waiting for them to come back from Mass, and all of a sudden I heard what sounded like... It sounded like a metal plate or bowl falling on the kitchen floor. And you know how it doesn't just fall. It'll make this clatter noise like it's going around and it's settling. But nothing was in the kitchen, even though it sounded like it was from the area. Then later when she tried to use the water, that sound came back. So it was the pipes. Mm-hmm. Even though I wasn't using the water. I guess that was the pipes starting their issue. Yeah. So, long story short...
Short story short.
Using the tea spots, and this is Earl of Grey.
And I've already tasted that this morning.
Yeah, this is black tea, citrus rind, licorice root, mallow flowers, bergamot, citrus, and vanilla flavoring. Maybe it's vanilla that makes a difference for you, Mom.
Could be.
Because I don't think all of them have vanilla.
All I know is that when she gave it to me this morning, I said, "This is Earl Grey," because I could smell the bergamot. This Earl Grey, more than any other, is very distinctive. At least of the ones that I've had. So, yeah. What's your mug?
I already said.
I didn't hear you.
Well, for Mom, because she wasn't paying attention, this is Memento Mori.
I have my Memento Mori up there. I'll use that later. Okay, let's move along here. We are in March, and it's been very windy.
It has. 'Cause initially, I thought maybe somehow the wind knocked something down. Because
Right.
it was...
And all I could think of was, oh no, we're going to have to issues with the roof again. Ugh. No, thank you.
It's been a really windy month or so.
Okay, our longs. We have our PHN Tea and Tails Cowl Lal 2022. This is our year-long Cowl Lal. It started January 1st and goes to December 31st. If it hits January 1st, we are finished unless the thread happens to be open.
C'est fini.
C'est fini. So this, the projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme of tea and or tails. Chatter and pictures will be in the same thread. Projects, let's see, I already said tea and tails, and we're talking about books, novels, chapter books, children's books. I think we said plays that were full stories.
Yeah. I mean, that shouldn't be an issue.
Novelizations of plays, so epic poetry that is an actual
Like Beowulf.
Okay, stories. I think Canterbury Tales is a poem, isn't it?
No, it's prose, because it was one of the big deals. Is that was one of the first English prose actually in English, not like in Latin or something.
Okay.
His stuff.
I haven't read a lot of Canterbury Tales, only a little bit, so I wasn't sure.
I read Cliff Notes when I was a kid, because that's where, because they kept the Cliff Notes in the reference area where I like to hide and read my Agatha Christie's.
Anyway, not going to go there right now. You and your books.
Well, I was just explaining.
But that doesn't where it stops. No, it's not.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it is.
no. Hey, we're wearing the same.
No, this is red.
Oh, it just looks like it's in that screen.
Yeah,
It's
no,
on
this
the screen.
is red. This
Yeah,
is
you're
bright red.
Yeah, no, I've got red in my thing here, but it's red.
That's got a pinkish.
Not
red
this.
undertone. No, I'm looking at this. This
That's
isn't
red.
like that's not a fire truck red.
That's red.
There's a just slightly different tone
Oh,
to
you're
it.
full of baloney.
This is more of an orange base. That doesn't.
You're full of baloney. Anyway, okay. One whip per project per week, and then the FL whenever it's finished, and prizes we do have. I am assembling what we have. I have a box full of things that people have donated, and so I haven't quite pulled yet for that. Been doing other things, so I haven't pulled. We have, for this along, I have at least to the end of March for the first quarter, and I already have one of the first quarters because Pat, who is Looney Hiker, donated one of her sock patterns. I think it's her graveyard sock patterns.
It was graveyard sock.
Yeah,
Graveyard field. Excuse me.
graveyard field socks. Yeah, so that's one of them, but the other one I haven't pulled yet. Now, as always, our featured yarns and patterns, we have the core that are always my yarn and my one pattern, or if I have had more patterns, my stuff, Talia's patterns, and Laura Concert's yarn and patterns. Her patterns are Laura Concert Designs, I think, and her yarn is Lollipop Girl Yarns, okay? So those are always, for our longs, featured. Then, for this one, we also have Mom Cook's Loom Knit patterns, Joanna Johnson's patterns, and KF Jones patterns, as long as they can be made to fit the tea and or tails, okay? And they have several. Each of them have several. Mom Cook is loom knit, and both Joanna Johnson and KF Jones are knitted. So, but Laura has crochet things, so I think so.
I'm not sure. I think she does. Not very many though. I don't think.
Talia does if you can make her stuff fit.
Yeah.
So
Knit and crochet.
yeah, and crochet. So, and my shawl, if you decide that you want to do that, and you use, I don't know, a yarn that's themed with a story or something, let's see here. The hashtag is hashtag PHNT and Tails 2022 on Instagram. Okay, we already said what the prize is for this quarter. We have another one as well. Now, the other along that's going on right now, and we only have 2.5 weeks Today's the 7th, so about 2.5, 2 3/4 weeks. 3 weeks? The 7th. Today's the 7th, so we have 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks to go in this along, and this is our PHN Ready, Set, Go, Cowl, Cowl, Loud. And this is where you start all the things. Nothing can be worked on that was started prior to January 1st. It had to be started January 1st or later, okay? And basically the rules are the same, except that there's no prerequisites for, tea and tails or anything. There's no yarn colors, no themes, nothing. It's just starting things. So it can be knit, loom, knit, or crocheted, and just whatever you want to do. The featured patterns and yarns, mine, Talia's, and Laura's. Just go to town on it, okay? And the hashtag for this is PHN Ready, Set, Go 2022 on Instagram. And there will be prizes. There's 2 prizes for that. Just haven't pulled them yet. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay. I want to take another drink. I think I'll only go twice once, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. My first one, I worked on this actually a fair amount yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's in my Knitter's Magic, really cushy, soft, velvet kind of black bag with purple flowers on it. Lavender flowers. I think they're roses. I'm not sure. Can't see them.
Stumpy likes roses.
Stumpy likes roses. It has to be roses. This is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch knitting pattern by 5410 Studios. And I did about 2 or 3 rows on this because if my nephew and his wife are going to get this for their baby, I have to work on it. So I worked on it a little bit. It doesn't grow real quickly, even though it's bulky, it's knitted, so it takes a while. But it's not hard. I'm enjoying it. The yarn is Lady Fernicle Creations in the Bare Necessities colorway, which is essentially a bare yarn. Okay? I'm going to put this down for a second here, because I might look at it afterward, after I'm talking about the next thing. Okay, the next one is in my Ploverbird Pink and Purple Teacups bag, and this is my Comfy Cozy Shawl project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Zattel. Yes, I still have this on the hooks, because I finished Talia's, but I still have 2 of these on the hooks. Let me see here. Do my hook. Oh, there it is. Okay. I did a little bit of work on this. I was kind of focused on other things. I actually went several days without doing anything, crocheting or knitting or anything.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But it's like I said, it's big enough. If I wanted to, I could stop right now. But
it's all depends on how.
But I want it bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, this has got mostly Miss Babs in it, but there is some Malabrigo, and it's a fun pattern that I enjoy working, as nobody would probably believe based on how many I've done, right? I think this is what I made 1 for you, 1 for Crystal, plus the one I gave you. That's 3. And I have another 2, that's 5. So yeah, and I have a black and white one I want to do, but it's still all in its hanks or whatever you call it when it's not been caked up again.
Right.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about this.
Okay, so for me, let me bring up my show notes. Let's see, what do I show first? Okay, so...
And I might get up in a little bit to check if the mail got here, because we saw the mailman earlier, and Ty was wondering if something came in, so...
Yeah.
It'll be in a little bit, though.
So, the first one to show is This Is All Kay's Fault Miter Square Blanket. And this was a recipe that was shown on her Patreon before she actually made the pattern with that. It started as a video. I just wrote down notes. I knew what to do. I started this years ago.
I was really happy when she actually wrote it down.
Yeah. Because I used to have to find the video.
Yeah.
So.
And actually the one she wrote down wasn't just for the squares. I think it was for the...
It was for the squares within square.
Yeah.
But all I needed was the basic instructions.
Yeah.
Because then I could do what I wanted for... Because she still has the instruction about picking up the stitches and everything.
Yeah.
You just have to decide whether or not you want to put it in with a border.
Right.
So, if you think about it, then it helps because it gives you instructions for a border from when you want to border the whole blanket.
Right.
And that's what I did with the other one. Okay, so I finished my little bunny foo-foo square. I think I had that to show last time.
I think you did, yeah.
And then I have the Captain America square. It was just some extra that I had from... Oh, a pair of fingerless mitts I made Mom. And that's her yarn. And then...
Both of those are my yarn.
both of those are her yarn. Then this one is Heidi's yarn. This is one of her roadkills. So... And what I'm trying to do now is, if I'm working over a square that hasn't had the ends woven in, I'll weave in those ends and then I'll pick up the stitches for the next square. So then I can slowly but surely start.
Right.
I mean, thankfully this blanket I actually
Started with weaving in.
started with weaving in the ends. I think these later ones I wasn't feeling well. I feel like I worked on these that time that I had. This was probably that time that I had sinusitis.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I didn't work on it for quite a while.
That was pretty rotten, that sinusitis.
And I didn't feel like, weaving in ends. I just put squares together. So that's what I think is probably, because before that I was actually pretty good about weaving in my ends. So at least with this ginormous blanket, because this is meant to be queen size, I won't have nearly as many ends to weave in.
I think once I figure out for sure, I think Laura doubts I'm going to pick up the stitches. I might have to do it just to show her.
I think you should.
But anyway,
I have a lot of your yarn in this.
yes, you do. But once I'm sure that I can do that, then maybe I'll start weaving the ends of the, as I go each
Right.
strip. I'll do that,
Okay, so yeah, so that's this one. Let me just shove it back in the bag. And I have skeins waiting in here that I could put in to this while I'm waiting for the next pair of socks to be done.
I think I'm going to start just pulling things out for the blanket and not trying to plan a
Right, I
solid
mean,
enough.
you have all these all these partial skeins I'm giving you.
Yep.
So it's, works out very nicely. Put that back.
All right, let me just put something here to hold the stitch so it doesn't fall out. Not that it's hard for me to redo it, it's just I don't feel like having to do it over again.
Right.
Okay, so I like the colors on this, it's pretty.
It is pretty. And it definitely goes with your color themes.
Yeah. My aesthetic, if you will.
Yes.
Somebody on Adagio was saying, I talked to her about something. Oh, I think it was Allie. I was talking about her blue dragons. And she said they're blue and nothing. She really likes blue, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Something for me to keep in mind when I have to do something for Allie. But anyway, if the occasion ever presents itself. All right, my next one. I don't remember working a lot on this one, but I must have done some, probably on the podcast. This is my Thorns Hooded Cow project. This is my Knit for Brains Owl's teapot bag. It's this one here. I like working on this one. It's fun. I'm doing version 2, and I do work on this a little, every week. It just takes a while for me to... Right now, I've been working basically on the podcast. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can work on things while we're watching movies and things, instead of maybe having, popcorn or something, just work on the project, which is what I was doing before. But sometimes I have so many calories left over, I have to eat something first.
Right.
So, yes, this is Miss Babs Yowza, and it's in the slate colorway. Slate blue colorway. And there really isn't a whole lot to say about this. I'm still in the knitting section. I have a few more rows to do on this before I can go to the purl. But it actually goes pretty fast. If I were to sit down and make this my sole project for a half-hour show, I would get a lot done. And if I did it for a a full 60-minute show or something, I'd make a lot of progress on this, because it's not that large a circumference, and you're just going round and round and round. You're not doing anything really hard. It's just,
well, it's a nice project to have.
it is very much. But yeah, so this is, and this, you can see, this is the outside, so you can see how pretty it is. I like it. I'm a little nervous about when I have to do whatever it is I have to do for the hood, but I'll worry about that when I get to it.
Right.
I'll think about that tomorrow. Think about it tomorrow. It's all you.
Okay, so next for me, let me go, let's see, to my show notes. Alrighty, there we go. Oh, and I forgot to show that the miter square blanket was in the Pot Blue jean Batgirl bag.
It's a nice bag.
Yes, it is. Perfect for a blanket. So this project has been worked in a while, and this is also in a bag that is, those of you who got the kits should be seeing, as you purchase your kits. You've seen it before. In my...
Yeah, I've started sending them out.
PHN 10-year anniversary bag. My, what's this? No. What size is this? Is this large or extra large?
I think that's the extra large.
Okay, extra large.
I think you got the extra large and the medium.
Okay, I can't remember. This is Canary Song in here, but as you can see, you have just different things that have been in all their different bags over the years.
Anne did a fabulous
she did.
job on this. I gave her the barest idea of what to do, and what she did was I gave her this picture with the 10, this picture which is our original, and this picture which is our new logo. And you can't see it very well because I got it high enough. Okay, this picture which is our new logo, the original logo, and then the anniversary. She did all the rest.
So yeah, this here, as you can see, that's the original chameleon picture from
Flynn and the Woman
Flynn
Cave.
and the Woman Cave. Then this is from one of the other bags. I can't remember. That might have been Flynn.
That was the inside.
That was the inside
Yeah.
Flynn, you're right.
Yeah.
And then and that's a wrap is from the Words PHN sayings bag. So these are all very special, related to bags throughout the years.
She tied a lot of things. I was just very, very pleased with what she did. Anne is a consummate professional, and she's very talented. And I'm very sad that she's retired.
Yes.
But probably good for my wallet.
Yeah. I'm going to show this, and then I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. I thought we got you one like that.
No, it's clean.
Oh, they subbed out.
And I can't, I've got to order it through Amazon and have
Okay.
it come in because I can't have the replacement. It bothers
Okay.
me.
Davina can use it.
Yeah. One is completely unopened.
Okay.
And the other's been only used once. But unfortunately, I can't handle it.
That's fine. When I saw that it had been substituted, I was like, oh boy.
So, this is Canary Song, and the project is the pattern is Comfort Yourself with Your Music. Canary Song is the project name, and this comes from Little Women Knits by Joanna Johnson. And yeah, I mostly worked on this so I can show you the bag. This is she calls it a shawl sweater.
Mm-hmm.
So both sleeves are done.
What I like about that is you could use it as a vest and not put the sleeves if you really wanted to.
I mean, you'd have to
bind off.
bind off here, yeah.
Yeah. But
You couldn't decide last minute. You would have to decide at that point that's what you were going to do.
Right.
Otherwise,
I mean, I prefer to have the sleeves. I'm just saying you could.
You could. You just have to plan ahead. You can't just, like, after you're done, be like, nah, I don't feel like doing sleeves. But, yeah. So, I mean, this project, actually, I forgot how addictive it is. Because you just tell yourself one more row.
She's supposed to make me one next.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I've got like 3 sweaters she's supposed to be making me. I give her the yarn for it.
She does. She does. 2 of them are already on the needle. Mm-hmm. No, one's already on the needle. The other one's waiting for me to finish my other one. And so is the other one for this one. Good thing I like this pattern.
Yeah. Well, it's like my shawl. I mean, I've
Yeah.
made you 2 of them already, and if you
Yeah.
wanted another one, you'd get it. It's just
Who is this attached to?
don't know.
I don't either. Oh, probably to my okay, the other thing. So when I get up, I'll check and see if the mail's arrived.
Let me
But
put this away if we're gonna have to talk about another project.
yeah, but if you don't mind stepping out so I can get through, so I don't climb over you,
Just don't knock my tea over.
I won't. But I didn't want to knock the camera.
Okay. Just give us a second. We're gonna do some logistical maneuvering.
Yes. Let's see. Hang on, something fell. Your notebook.
My notebook. Okay.
There's your notebook.
Mind my books and stuff when you walk.
Yeah. Oh, you did get your book.
Yeah, I told you I had to get my other one out, so I was gonna get it anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll be back.
She said she'll be back. Okay, let me see here. All right, my next project is in my, let's see, Silver Shed USA green Star Wars bag. And this one, Pat, it made me smile. Pat said that this looks like a stained glass window. It makes me happy. So it does. This is the Mad Hatter Cowl project from the Cerebell pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. And I could probably have changed it to stained glass, but it's already been this name. So I've done a bit of work on this. This grows really fast. It's Miss Babs Yowza in the Mad Hatter colorway, hence the very original name for this particular project. It's getting pretty long. It grows very, very quickly. But you can see this is really long. I may have to stop it pretty soon because it might be too long to wrap. If I decide to make it a cowl, or I might just make it a scarf, in which case it's a pretty long scarf already. I mean, it's almost longer than my wingspan. But this is a very addictive pattern. This one I probably have made, I know I've made in double digits of this. I'm not sure how large the double digits are. I've kind of lost count, and it just is something that I can sit there and just not really pay attention, watch a movie, or this one I can do and not worry about getting sick in the car, because as long as I don't, do it for overly long, I don't get sick in the car when I do this one. I used to be able to do this without any problem whatsoever in the car, without getting motion sickness, and I'd finish, 1.5 of these on a trip. But now I have to be a little bit careful about how much I do in a moving vehicle, because when I focus on something like this in a car, I guess I get my sense of movement gets off, like when it's off, like what you're actually doing and what you feel like you're doing, you get sick. So I can't do as much in the car as I used to. But I like doing this. I can do quite a bit. I could probably finish a project like this in the course of maybe two movies or something like that, if I sat down and just focused.
Here, let me do this.
Wash my tea.
I'm watching your tea.
Did you check the mail?
Yeah, it wasn't, the flag was still up.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I changed my shirt too, just because it was probably on there.
Yeah.
It's the same. I have several versions of this scarf top. They did a substitution for one of my personal care products, and instead of it being unscented, it was a clean scent, and it was starting to bother me. So, I had to get rid of it and, just get rid of the scent. Because it was starting to bother. I could feel it in my throat. I don't feel that anymore. Washing it off helped. And I think putting the shirt in the...
Okay. What's your turn?
Okay.
I've waffled long enough.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounded like an idiot, but that's okay.
So, let me get a drink.
Yeah, Pat said this looked like a stained glass window, which made me happy.
I always think then you need to edge it in black.
No.
Okay. So,
Do not wish it.
in my... Come here. Silver Shed USA, Kitties in the News bag. Let me pick a news story. Even though we've done
Everything.
Of them.
All of them.
Just trying to see if there's...
Yes, definitely caramel. Definitely. Caramel tea.
Oh, I wish we could see what the proverb of the day is.
Where is it?
It's proverb of the day, and then you see the cat's eye. So yes, this is what I'm going to show you. It's the whoopsie. The proverb of the day cat. There's his face, but we can't see what the proverb of the day is because they cut that part of the newspaper out for us.
Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching.
So in this bag is my project Lake of Shining Waters. The pattern is Ann Sweater from Green Gables Knits by Joanna Johnson. I am using Andean Treasure in the colorway Sapphire Heather. So, I think I'm now cool enough where I can work on this because I was hot at the beginning of the podcast.
Right.
I think that's actually what set things off.
What the?
Reacting with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did a little bit of work on this. Some of it on the podcast, some of it just randomly here and there, but not a ton, you know. I think arguably I probably worked more on my yellow one.
We hadn't worked on it in a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to change. It's like doing a new project.
Right, and also there's a lot more of the, let me go to the next row because right now I'm just doing a sleeve.
Right.
So it's not nearly as exciting as what I'm doing in the yellow one. So, the thing is, I know that once I finish this, I'll be so happy to have it.
It's going to be nice and comfortable.
Oh, it is. I just need to sit down and, do it.
Just do it.
But yeah, so I'm going to cap my needles for this other project so I can work on the sweater instead because it deserves to.
I was going to work on this, but I think I'm going to work on this when I can sit down and focus on it. I will work on it. I just don't want to do it right now.
So says you.
I really want to finish this for Adam.
That's when?
I think it's April.
Yeah, you're going to have to get cracking on that.
Well, I'm not sure if he's April or if Megan and Danny are April.
They're for, Adam and Laura are first.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. My nieces and nephews are having babies. Makes me feel old. All right. This next one is the Country Roads Blanket Project from the Jelly Roll pattern by K.F. Jones. It's in my B-Wing country bag. I love this bag, and I love the person who gave it to me. Thank you, Brittany. Hi, JD.
Hi, JD.
I started a new color on this. And as I was telling Talia, I'm not going to worry about anymore about doing plain, variegated, plain, I'm just going to pull. But you can see that I think this is my color, one of my colorways up here. And I can tell that it must be a little bit of a lighter yarn because it's pulling inward a little bit. But I think when I block it out, it'll be fine. So you can see that it is growing. I just sat there the other day and said, oh, just a few more rows so they can actually see the color.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's growing. It looks like a little scarf. I'm having fun with it. I'm using just scraps. Half the time, I don't even know what they are. I'm just using
Although
scraps.
some of them you're getting from me from my sock palooza.
I understand that, but my point is I don't know what they are.
Oh, except that I would have told you.
Well, those, I just said some of them, not all of them. Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, a lot of her ones, because she doesn't have a scrap collection the way I do. Because I had a lot of people give me scraps.
Well, I have a scrap collection, but they're bigger.
Yeah.
And I got rid of a lot of stuff because I didn't think I would ever do something like this.
Well, also, you gave me a lot of your scraps.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been doing scrap blankets for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've tried them, and it's like...
Because I have a collection of fingering weight scraps, and then all the heavier weights are together.
I need to try what Laura's doing with those great big, ginormous granny squares.
You know, I just can't really get into granny squares.
Yeah, I mean, that blanket they used to have over here that Antoinette gave me was a granny square. Remember that?
Isn't this one a granny square too? After fashion?
That one, I believe, is a great big single. No, that's... I don't know. I think that might be the one that I did for Anastasia, where she did I did the test for it, where it was like a half of a log cabin or something.
That doesn't look like a log cabin.
I don't know. I have to check.
That looks like a granny square.
That might just be a regular blanket. I have to look at it. To me, it just looks like stripes, but I don't know. I have to check and see. I don't remember what I did for that one. This one,
because I remember you doing log cabin, but that's definitely not
this
log
one
cabin.
here. This one here is a large, just one granny square. Is this one? It's
I wonder what you did with your log cabin, because
it might be in the coffee table, but this one is a great big granny square. This one right here, Talia.
okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, this has all kinds of yarn. It has my yarn in it. It's got other people's yarn in it. You know, dragonfly fibers, malabrigo, all that. Well, I don't know if it has dragonfly fibers yet, but it has all kinds of yarn in here.
You have dragonfly fibers in the wings.
Yeah, I have it in the wings. So
I'm trying to get all my yarns untangled because these skeins fall apart easily.
oh, that's the Indian treasure.
Yeah. So and alpaca likes to stick to itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to make sure that I know what's what when I'm trying to knit and not making my knot situation worse.
Right.
Is that all you have to say about that project?
Yeah. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about this, and I showed that the different colors I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my 5th color for this, and I'm not worried about the sizes. Some might be little, some might be big, some might be, you know, they're going to be just different sizes, kind of like a crazy quilt kind of thing, crazy patchwork. I don't want to plan anything at this point.
Well, that's what a scrap project's for, no planning.
Well, unless you're me or Kay.
My thought process is if I'm going to do something scrappy, I don't want to think about it. It's supposed to be whatever I happen to have.
And that's not a disparaging remark about
No.
Kay.
That's just both of you like to have organization.
I love Kay dearly. I think she's fantastic. She's a fabulous teacher.
Well, you said both of you had the same tendency.
We do tend to. I love Kay. She's wonderful.
I don't think that is a derogatory thing to say at all. Cause,
No.
But I think I'm going to have quite a bit left over.
You might.
I think I thought I was going to need like extra yarn when I initially had done this.
Right.
But I don't think I ever needed to. Oh, you know what happened was I found more skeins.
That's what it was, yeah. Because I had to buy some when I did it, when I was going to make the
Well, yeah,
sweater.
because I had used a lot more of that color, whereas I had actually picked up this blue, I think, for another sweater, and then I never did it.
Right.
I think I still have some that are knocking around somewhere.
Right.
So if I wanted to, I could totally make another.
Totally.
Totally, yes.
Totally.
Make another sweater for this.
Totally radical, man.
But your alpaca really likes to stick to itself. I had to separate them. Or I think I had to put them in a Ziploc bag so they didn't have room to
Don't make me
twist.
separate you.
And I had to separate it from the one that was in working progress because they do not come undone nicely.
No, they don't. It's kind of like unforgivable.
And it's really lovely to work with, but you have to just keep in mind that they are problematic. Okay, let me get the knot out of this, and then I can choose which yarn will be next, because it looks like I'm going to start another skein pretty soon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Yes, I'm just trying to get this knot out. So, next for me, because you know how it is with alpaca, there we go.
There we go.
Is in my excuse me. Make sure I don't have any of the balls down there. Okay. This is in my Knit for Brains teapots bag. And this is my Project Laura's Hood. It's a Thorns Hooded Cow by somebody. It's a free pattern.
The photographer is Effa Fanara.
But, you know, I was thinking about how I wanted a heavier weight one, but I don't think I actually do. I think I'm going to stick with using Miss Babs for mine, because I find even with mine, I sometimes get too hot. So the Miss Babs is actually a perfect weight for mine, even though I like the way this one feels on my hands.
It's unfortunate that you couldn't do it by colorway that you did.
No, it's too light.
What did you decide to do with that?
I have a Karina Spencer.
Right.
It's got a bit of lace to it, which is why I haven't worked on it. And also I have had other things to focus on. So yes, this. Oh, look at that! It's spiraling.
Cool.
So I really enjoy how this is working out, but I probably couldn't have this particular weight for myself. So, there we go. Yeah, the Sport was too see-through, so it wasn't going to block the light enough.
Right.
And the worsted would be a bit on the heavy end. I would get too hot. So the light worsted / DK is perfect.
I'm just writing down my projects that I worked on.
Right.
Okay. Because I won't remember from now until later.
Oh, I do have a ball attached. Okay.
Okay. This is my turn again.
Oops. There we go.
All right. My next one. Trying to move so I can move around without killing myself here.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
generally preferable.
Okay, my next one is in my Emma Owl's bag. Emma Owl bag. Makes me happy. Emma Owl bag. Thank you, Emma. This is my Ice Baby Blanket from the Cerbelle Scarf pattern, because apparently one is not enough, by Sarah Sweethearts. And this one is a blanket as opposed to a scarf or a cowl or whatever that is. And I've got this much left in the second skein of yarn. Where's my hook? There it is. Okay. And this, I think this is Ice Aqua or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, this is what it is, and it's moving along pretty quickly. I hope it's going to be big enough. If it isn't, I will probably put a fairly good size edging on it in a contrasting color, maybe the dark blue, to make sure that it is. But I think it'll be pretty close to,
Yeah.
Enough. Maybe for if it's not, it'll be enough for a preemie. Once I get the other skein in here, because there's a fair amount of yarn, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think I'll need to edge it, or if I do, it might be a thin edge, which I might have done anyway.
Right. Because sometimes crochet might need a little bit of a finishing. Although I feel like the miter square needs a finishing.
This one doesn't usually need a finish it, but this one works really well. It works up really well for the pattern. It's got a nice effect. And I know blue is usually for boys, but I could see this for a boy or a girl. It's kind of that blue-green. And I just really like the way that... Can you see it, Ty, or am I in your way?
You're in my way, but that's okay.
Okay.
It's not important if I can see it.
Yeah, it's...
I can see it. It's right in front of my face.
So, yeah, this is... I'm hoping to finish this one up in the next... I'd like to finish up this week, but I will not set myself that goal unless I find that that's the week we're going to a doctor's appointment. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
So when we go to your doctor's appointment on the 31st, I hope...
Oh, that's an all-day thing.
That's an all-day thing. I think I'll get a lot done.
Yeah.
Unless my hands are bothering me. So, yeah, this is fun. I don't really have a lot to say about this because it's a Cerbelle, and I've already talked about the Cerbelle. You can see the difference that this is a blanket. This is a very versatile pattern. I've made stoles from this. I've made cowls. I've made scarves. Baby blankets. It's just a very versatile pattern. I'm trying to figure out a way to work it into something else, but I haven't quite figured it out yet where it doesn't bunch.
Right.
So
I know you had debated if you could make it work for, like, if you did fingering weight or something like that, for mantilla.
Yeah.
But you decided that would be it'd still be too bulky.
Yeah, I'd have to do it
in a lace or something.
With a lace weight, or maybe with a thread, and that would
drive you insane.
I think I would poke my eyes out. I mean,
you'd be able to see your stitches. That wouldn't be the problem.
Maybe.
Because you wouldn't be going down to that hook size. You'd be doing it open, wouldn't you?
I would be, but it has to be smaller than this.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I could try. What I might do is try it with some twine and see if I can do it. Not buy the yarn, and then if I don't know how thin lace weight. I don't have any lace weight.
I think I might still have some.
So because I gave my lace weight away.
I think I have I think I have my fingering weight area. It's like a greeny color.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gave it to me. And I can let you have it and see.
Well, I can try it maybe, but because it would be really pretty.
If you can make it work.
If I can make it work. Am I? Okay, what did I do here?
Okay, is that it for that?
Yeah, I just kind of lost my place. Let me just see what I'm doing here.
Well, you're doing that.
Oh, I see what I did. Okay.
Take a look at my show notes.
I didn't, every once in a while, because I'm not paying attention, I'll get confused as to what end I'm working.
Oh.
And I should know that I'm working the shorter end. So, but, confused. Old people confused.
Okay, so in my medium, even though I always think of this as a small because this is a good sock size. Excuse me. This is the other PHN 10-year anniversary one.
I didn't look on the inside. Is it just white? Oh, it's blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
Oh, that's
I don't
pretty.
remember if the other one is the same
I think
color.
they're probably the
Yeah.
same. That's
Uh-huh.
really pretty. I like the inside.
Yes, it's a nice... There you go. There's the inside.
Yeah.
So, this yarn... I don't know if you can still make this one. This is Mom's Lady Fur Co-Creation. 75%... 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is sport weight.
I have to see if I have the recipe.
Colorway is Flame On. And,
It's a Marvel reference.
and therefore the sock is called the Torch Socks. Human Torch just seemed too long. Besides, that's weird to call your sock Human Torch.
Yep.
So yes. So these are the Torch Socks. Although there was a Torch before Human Torch who was I think he was an android.
Was he?
Yes, and then that's why they made a point of calling Johnny Storm the Human Torch, because there was another Torch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never actually read any comics with him. That's just one of those random pieces of comic trivia that I know.
I think... Let me see here. I can find that. I didn't know that. Where is my...
Are you looking for your stitch marker thingy?
Yeah.
Did you put it down here?
No, I didn't take it off.
Did you
I've decided...
There
here
it is.
When I work on the podcast, I don't take it off until I'm ready to...
Okay.
But I think what I'm going to do with this, Taya... Look at this. I found this.
Cut it.
I'm going to cut it and...
Pull back.
pull it back a
I
little
do
bit,
that all the time.
because I don't want it to break.
No, I get that. I do that all the time.
I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I don't mean to interrupt Taya's,
Yeah.
but
Yes, she does.
can you see the knot?
Yeah, they can.
So, yeah, okay.
So yeah, this is working up nicely. It's working up similar. Mom says she thinks she might have dyed this around the same time she did Little Bunny Foo Foo, which I actually think that makes sense. I think you gave them to me together for a Christmas gift.
I might have, and this was, based on her colors. I don't know if I dye that method anymore. I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, because this is most of her socks tend to spiral. We think this is not going to be as much of a spiral, kind of like, excuse me, Little Bunny Foo Foo isn't so much of a spiral. But this one's going to be a little less obvious than Little Bunny Foo Foo is in that respect, because the colors aren't quite as different from each other.
Yeah, and I don't think there's as many in there either.
No, there isn't, because Little Bunny Foo Foo, you have white, the periwinkle blue, a little bit of a darker blue, and then you have that bright pink. Whereas there's only this reddy orange, or this orangey red, and then this orange in here.
Taya, this now and when it cools, it almost tastes like a piece of caramel.
So did that bring it up a star for you? Too bad they don't have stars.
Oh, this is good. No, I might have to give it a 5. I might say originally I was going to give it a 4, then a 4.5. The ending made it a 5. I mean, yeah, I like this. I do. I am not a huge candy person, but I like chocolate and I love caramel. And this has a wonderful caramel taste to it.
Okay, so any more projects?
Yes. In my Universal Studios bag, canvas bag, this one, is my Virtual Hugs project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. Cerebels and scrap shawls.
Well, I look like I'm obsessed with Joanna Johnson, so you know.
Yeah, we do have our, sometimes it'll be this person or that person. We have KF Jones, both of us. So.
I mean, I don't generally have two going at the same time, but the not just boring boot socks pattern. Now, granted, that's just a quick way to make my way through patterned sport yarn that has nylon in it.
What do you guys think?
I think that's big enough.
No, but what do you think of that?
Oh, okay.
Isn't that pretty?
It is. I think you should give it to her just as is.
No. I don't think she'll like it just as it is. Put on Chewy.
Ungrateful wretch.
Chewy. So, yeah. So this is the next color in this. It's I think this is Heidi.
No, I think... maybe.
I don't know.
I gave you that, I think.
I don't know if you gave it to me or not.
Because I gave you several purples with green mixed in.
No, I had this one in my...
Oh, did you? That might have been. Okay, I know I gave you several.
Because I said, oh, wow, look at this. Maybe you gave it to me a long time ago.
Maybe. I don't know.
I wanted something that had green and purple in it so I could maybe tie this one in as well.
That's the one I gave you.
The scabs. So this is purples and greens, and there might be some other colors.
And you got to remember, as you add things, they're just going to pull together.
Yeah.
That's just the magic of a scrapped project.
I'm having fun with this. It's very pretty. Purple's not my color, but I do enjoy working with purple.
I enjoy working with it.
I don't wear purple hardly at all. Is that right?
Yeah, you don't wear purple hardly at all. You hardly ever wear purple.
But if I don't wear purple hardly at all, that's a double
I think
negative.
that's still correct usage.
I'm not sure. Don't wear purple hardly at all. So I hardly wear purple. That if I hardly ever wear purple, then don't wear it hardly at all would be I wear it a lot. We'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
This is we actually have conversations about this kind of stuff.
I think the ever is the thing that kind of...
We'll talk about it later. We do have conversations about this kind of stuff. Anyway, so here is... I like the way this is turning out. I hope the person who gets this, Laura, likes this. She asked me to make one for her, and so I'm making her one. So yeah, that's that. And this, I don't know what all the yarn is going to be in this. It's going to be Scrappy Dappy. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, just... So, hardly English grammar today, Cambridge Dictionary. Just because it's going to bother me. Okay. Hardly has a negative meaning. It usually means almost not at all or only just. We can use it in mid-position or before an adjective. Or,
well, if it's a negative, then...
Hang on, they have examples. Okay. So you could hardly see his face. It's hardly surprising. At first, hardly a person. Okay, hardly any, hardly ever. So, we often used hardly before any, anyone, anybody. But not before no, none, no one, nobody. No. You're not supposed to say hardly ever.
But I didn't say hardly.
Yes, we did for the second one.
All right.
The two examples were...
not hardly ever.
I don't hardly ever wear... I don't hardly wear it at all, or I hardly ever wear it. That was the second example. So...
hardly ever is okay, I think. But
let's see, it says... Okay, you can use it before ever, but not never. Excuse me. So hardly at all...
Don't hardly. You got the don't there.
Oh, okay. So I can.
You guys are getting impromptu grammar. This is one of our grammar journeys. We do this. Sorry.
Yeah, because the example they give is hardly slept at all last night.
Hardly slept at all?
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think you're correct. I do think that don't even though you hear people say that it's still I do believe that is incorrect.
Because what it is a double negative. And that means that you're saying, okay, I do it all the time. I don't wear this all the time.
I think it gets misused a lot, kind of like the way people use literally when they mean figuratively.
Yep. This is fun for us, guys.
Because you hear things like, I don't think about you hardly, Okay, so yeah. Here's a good example. Meaning, can hardly versus can't hardly. So this is very close to that. So the two seem to be opposites of each other because the additional not in one of them. However, they seem to be interchangeable. Are they? What's the difference? And the correct version is can hardly. Mm-hmm. This is what anyone who uses either phrase likely means, at least. Mm-hmm. Whilst cannot hardly is grammatically correct, it is effectively a double negative. Mm-hmm. and thus its meaning is confusing at best, plain wrong at worst. Translated as, I am nearly unable to, and you can see why its meaning is not the same.
Right.
So
I was correct.
yes, you were. It just took me a second, because I know I've heard it used,
People use it all the time.
but it's not something you usually think about. Okay, so yes.
Well, that was fun.
Yes, so your correct usage is,
Hardly ever.
I hardly ever XYZ, not I don't hardly at all.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's fun. That was fun. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, this is fun for us.
So that is your grammatical lesson. Thus endeth the lesson.
Endeth the grammatical lesson. It is a reference.
Okay, so now that that has been completed, we can go on to, do you have any FOs?
I don't.
I do. Which you might have guessed based on the square. And I didn't remember to bring the sock blocker again. So I really liked how this this worked
pretty.
out. Isn't that pretty?
Is that Heidi's?
That's Heidi's witch base, and this is one of her roadkills. I know I made a bunny out of this. The only reason I had enough yarn for it was because I had 2 skeins. But I think I sold a bunny in this.
I think you probably did, or maybe you gave it to somebody.
He was super cute too.
Made a stripy bunny.
No, it doesn't stripe when you do the crochet bunny. And this isn't a true stripe if you look at it closely. It actually,
Right, it's more of
it's
a-
spiraling.
Actually, it's almost in some places like it's
Pooling?
Pooling, yeah.
But yeah, so I really like these. They're different than anything else I really have in my sock drawer, which is cool. And I'm happy my collection is building up. I feel like I can, while still knitting pretty seriously on these, I can also start knitting on a few other things. Again, I can start focusing on some of my sweaters. Wow, still pretty hardcore. I have the current one I'm working through. I have another one of Heidi's. And then I think I have 3 other skeins of sport weight with nylon to work through. And then I can go back to my fingering weight socks. Well, I have 2. One's more sport weight. That's the Harry Potter knits one. I found heels and toes to go with it. So it'll be different than the other pair I have.
Good.
And then I found 2 DK weights with nylon. Sport
cool.
nylon. What's her face? Wild Hair.
What's her face?
Yes, one's blue, white, and black. That one that I gave you for my shawl, but you said I didn't go with.
Right, Nightwing. I would call them Nightwing, I think.
And then another one of hers, and I can't remember what colors those were. But yeah, I was looking through just to see if I had. I think I was looking for heels and toes for the one that was your newspaper one, but then I realized I wasn't even sure the newspaper one had nylon in it, and so I just put that one back. But that's when I found those other 2 skeins of DK with nylon. So that's my FO.
Okay.
I do have for shop news, although we do shop news after your what's it called?
Graphic novel.
Yeah.
Okay, graphic novel is kind of an anomaly for my graphic novel, actually.
You haven't done graphic novel in a very long time.
Well, this is not, strictly speaking, really graphic novel, but it's the only place I could put it. You guys remember, I'm not an artist, okay? And a few weeks ago, I showed you this book, and I said, this is just my speed. Okay?
I'm not sure if you showed that.
I did.
I know you showed it to me.
I did show it. This is like just really basic kind of shapes and all that kind of stuff.
It covers the basic shape, which is how Davina and I learned to draw.
Okay. So I started playing around, and don't laugh. I started playing around. My husband's tickled because he thinks everybody should draw.
Yes, he does.
This is just doodling. Okay, this.
Yeah,
part.
he doesn't understand it. I think it's really confusing to him that someone might not want to draw that much. Oh, Wombows turned out cute. And I'm going to have you turn it around in a second so I can see it better.
At least can you see it all right?
Yeah, they can see it all
At
right.
least they look like what I want. They're not exactly the same proportion or whatever, but at least they kind of look like.
You're trying to get the. Oh, so cute.
Yeah. So, I told Daddy that the hardest thing for this bottom dog was the bus.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, well, you should have made it a ball. I said, I'm not ready to change things yet. So, I've never been an artist, so I'm just happy that it looks like somewhat. I'll show you the pictures.
So it looks like they're starting you on with triangles and squares.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one.
Yeah, I remember working from books just
That?
like this when I was learning to draw.
That's this one.
Do you remember that you guys took away, Davina and I told us we couldn't use the print kit anymore because then we wouldn't draw?
Yeah, Daddy didn't like that.
Uh-huh.
And then I have the other one is this one.
Yeah, I think you did good. You did a good job, Mom.
So
Oh, my package was delivered.
I'll go get it.
Well, and
Because I finished my drawing. So anyway, don't laugh. Okay, I am pre-K as it goes for drawing.
I think those turned out well, and I'm happy to see what, like I said, what's going to happen is you're going to see shapes in everything. I mean, if you look, just look at a finger. Okay, so what do you have here? You have a circle here. So you have a circle here. You have a circle here.
I see a rectangle.
Well, you have rectangles in between.
And circles.
But if you look in here, there's a circle. There's a circle.
Yeah.
Here's another circle. Then if you look at the hand, here's a circle here.
Or a square.
You could do a square. What I would generally do is I'd do a circle, and then you have another circle here, another circle here. You have a circle here, you have a circle here, and then you connect it with a rectangle. Then you have just a little like dome here for the, or you could do little squares and then round them.
Yep.
So if you look, eventually you'll look at everything and you will see that there are shapes to everything.
I am not an artist, but it's fun to do.
That's the process I go through for toys. I will draw something using basic shapes, and then I will go, what shapes did I use to get there?
Right.
Okay, now how do I translate those shapes into crochet? And that's my process for, that's the main benefit from the drawing lessons that I've had.
Excellent. Now I'm going to go and get your
Okay, and I'll show my bag for the design I've worked on. Because that's all you, oh, hold on, this is heavy. That's all you get to see for this. It's not really heavy, I'm a weakling. Come here. So in my bag from Laura, my Talia bag, so you see Talia here. So cute. It's got hashtag PHN. And then it's got Knit Nerd. And, whoopsie, in here is a design in progress. The whole thing isn't this big. It's got yarn in here, too. That's what actually is making it heavy. Because, yeah, more yarn than, whoopsie, I've actually worked so far. So that's that so far. I did have rosary stuff that I worked on for the business, but those orders are all out. So, that's why I don't have them to show. And let me put this over here. Let me take a drink.
Right there.
She says she'll be right here soonish. Hey, Mom, can you grab scissors while you're coming over?
Yeah.
Thank you, because then I don't have to try to tear it open with my hands. Because they always make those things hard to open. Okay, Foo. I'm not sure if she's talking to Davina. Okay, so it sounds like she's talking to Davina. Because, we're not running late. Actually, this is quite... We're only at an hour, and we're not usually only at an hour at this point. Thank you. Let me put this down. Okay, so...
And at least they're not the sexy Spanish magazines, but...
Okay, well, yeah, I am happy it's not sexy Spanish. So... Oh, thank you. Yes, this is trash. Yeah, for a while they were sending me, like... Okay, I called them my sexy Spanish magazines because there would be all these sexy models on there, and it was all in Spanish. And so it always went to the trash. This is going to the trash, too. But...
Yeah, you couldn't even give it to your grandmother. You're embarrassed.
Yes. Okay. Oh, good. This is... Okay. I was suggested this tea by people... I know, this is Dash Enhancement. Out of order.
Yes, it is out of order. Why are we doing it out of order?
Okay, you do yours. I'll just cut these open, then I'll be ready.
do my what?
Your shop stuff.
Oh. Okay.
So
Joan,
I'm just going to cut stuff.
I forget what your handle is. Joan, I sent you a message regarding the kits. It's on PHN, so if you get the chance, please take a look. I know you've probably been busy. You haven't been at PHN. But I sent you a message because that's the best way I knew to contact you.
Do you have a way to contact her on Etsy?
I think I do.
Because that would be my next suggestion. People tend to see their Etsy messages.
If I don't hear from her in the next few days, I'll see if I can find her on Etsy. I'm just nervous about it. I know when I'm on PHN that's the person.
Right.
So
anyway, it's the same thing for Etsy. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So Joan, if you're watching, I have a message for you on PHN about your kit. Okay. Everybody else, I've sent out, I think 2 or 3 kits. Laura, yours is going to go out probably tomorrow. I'm putting them up a couple at a time, so just keep your eyes open. They are up, and they are going up a couple at a time, so I don't have to be overwhelmed by wrapping and stuff and having people wait. I don't want people to wait, so I put them up, and as people take them, I put more up. So I think I've got about a quarter of them out, or a third of them out. So they are going, and we are happy about that. That's why you can see the bags now, but we're not going to show you the yarn.
Could you put this over there so we don't drop it?
And then I'm hoping to dye more yarn up in the near future.
I thought you should say my little ball. Oops. Just fling that thing.
Anyway, so that's part there, and I'm hoping to do more yarn dyeing maybe by next week or a little after that, to just kind of get back in the swing of things, maybe get a little more stock in my shop. But it's just not been I haven't been in the right brain space, I think. And also it's been a little bit, I don't know, just not conducive. It seems like the days have been very cut up, and then by the time I feel like I can do it, my husband comes home from work and he's doing stuff in the kitchen, and then by the time he's out of the kitchen it's 4 o'clock, and I only have to 4 to 5:30. I need more time than that to do my yarn. So I'm going to have to figure out a better way to do that. Once or twice a week, where I say okay, the afternoon right after lunch I'm yarn dyeing.
Right.
So yeah, but anyway, that will be hopefully picking up in the near future.
I know you have to do the same thing for your knitting too.
Well, at least with the knitting, if I say I'm not going to eat something, or if I eat something that's not going to get my hands dirty, I can just eat what I have and then I can knit.
Right.
The yarn dyeing, because it requires that I'm away from the family, and I have to have all this other kind of stuff going on. Yeah, I have to have everything out. I have to have the water. I can't be with the family while I'm doing it. So
I think our water's improving. It made barely a gurgle when I washed my hands.
Oh, good. So that's where I am with the shop. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Thank you very, very much for all of you who have supported us and wanted to celebrate 10 years with us. We're very excited about that. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the rest of the stuff right now regarding the yarn, because I want to wait till everybody gets their yarn before we say anything. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right, so that should lead us on to stash enhancements.
Okay, stash enhancements. Do we do book afterward?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's usually at the end.
Okay. Stash enhancements.
So, if you have book stash.
Well, let me show the thing first that we both have.
Oh, indeed. You saw mine already because I'm actively using mine.
This is the large, and this is the extra large, and I do not have the blue bottom on this. Okay. And yes, there is something in this, but I'll show it to you in a little bit. Okay. All right. So what are we going to show?
Okay. So first, I'm going to show the Adagio that Mom gave me. This is my blend. One of my blends. Now, the Sam Gamgee name is a limited. I had to change it to Gardner because apparently the Tolkien estate comes down really hard on companies using their brand, which I get actually.
Yeah. Especially since the Dodgers who's getting the money for it, so they're the ones who are.
I bet that that the Tolkien estate's going to pull permission away from Amazon, because Amazon's completely wrecking it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, nonsense.
Okay, you'll tell me that later.
They're basically trashing Tolkien stuff.
All right, well, you tell me that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes. There is, so it's now called Gardner. And
I had the tin that has Sam on it.
Yes. And yeah, this is enjoyable. I added some extra rose leaves to it during one steeping, and I also added during another steeping a teaspoon of honey. The 2 teaspoons of honey versus the 2 of sugar isn't quite enough sweetness for me, but the 1 teaspoon of honey with the 1 teaspoon of sugar is perfect.
I like that blend. I had it yesterday.
I squeezed this a little bit and I got a woof.
It smells like roses. And honestly, I never tasted roses before I had that, and it tastes like roses.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now I have several Adagio teas because just before Lent started, I said okay, and I went right to the wire. I vacillated about it. I said I had Talia's version of this particular tea, and I want this, and I want it before Lent. So, first of all, I got my other infuser, okay, because I'm always leaving my infuser out on the table and forgetting it. But this is the one I got that Talia has. It's called Chocolate Mocha Tea for the Little Gray Cells, which is a Poirot reference, which is amazingly yummy, okay? So I got that one, and then I picked up also the Honeybush Banana Nut, which I usually like banana nuts, so I went ahead and took a gamble on it because I knew I couldn't pay for it during Lent. I'm doing a moratorium on this unless I need something.
Right.
Or...
she means like if she drank it up and she needed a replacement.
Yeah. Or like we were gifted tea, so when we hit St. Joseph, which is a solemnity, the tea that I was gifted, the way they were having trouble with the site, so the person who gifted it to me gifted it to Talia. So when Talia is getting ready to pay for it, she's going to do it on the solemnity of St. Joseph.
Well,
so
I actually already...
Okay, but don't give it to me till then. So I will pay her for that because part of it was charity. The person gifted it to us, and we didn't want it just sitting there and him think that we didn't like it.
Yeah.
So the part of it is just, okay, it's a solemnity, let's get it out of the cart and into our home. But a solemnity means that you don't have to fast, you don't have to do whatever.
It's a special day.
It's a special day. It's like a Sunday.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is Honeybush tea. It's Honeybush Banana Nut. And then when I got that, they said, you can try these for cut prices. So like I think each of these was $1 or $1.50.
I love it when they do that.
So I've got Honeybush chocolate, Honeybush vanilla, and Honeybush hazelnut, which these are kind of plain. They make really good. They're good plain, but they're also good blending. So I can play around with things and see maybe how they taste before I buy them.
Right.
And then I got another one of these. I found out that I really like this Formosa Red Oolong.
And that was a really inexpensive master's blend.
This, it smells like yeast. I mean, it smells like baking bread. I've never had a tea that smells like baking bread, and it tastes amazing. So I picked up another one of these. I have one already open. So that's what I got from Adagio. And do you have anything else?
Oh yeah. Well, first let me show the book that I got.
Okay.
And then we can show the other thing we got in common. So I picked this up. I had another one in my cart, but it got pulled out from under me. So I went ahead and grabbed this while I still couldn't get a good price on it. Thankfully, it's in really good shape. This is The Last Things by Blessed James Alberione. And last things are Heaven, Hell, Purgatory. What's the fourth?
Judgment.
Okay. It is 4 things, right? Okay.
I think it's Judgment. It's Judgment.
Okay, Death.
Death, Judgment, Heaven, and Hell, I think is what it is.
Oh, it don't have... okay, that makes sense. That's right, because at the end of all time, you don't have...
I think it's Death, Judgment, Heaven, and Hell.
Oh, no, that's Purgatory. Here, let's see. Here's the chapters. Death.
Well, yeah, those are the chapters, but those aren't the 4 last things.
Oh, you're right, probably.
It should say in the very beginning.
I always mess this up.
I think it's Death, Judgment, Heaven, and Hell. And one of our Catholic people will be able to tell us.
Yeah, this isn't this selection isn't very helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Death, Judgment, then Hell, Purgatory, or Heaven.
So maybe it's 5.
No,
I always thought it was
there's
4.
only 4. I think Purgatory is just kind of it's a prelude. It's like a prelude.
It's an anteroom.
Yeah, to either heaven or hell.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, no, it's an anteroom only to heaven. You don't. It does. Once you're in purgatory, you're
right. Heaven. That's true. My point is it's not its own thing.
Now, one of the booktubes I watched said that she takes off the dust jackets when she's reading it, and then just puts them on again when she puts it away.
See, I would forget to.
It actually does have a nice cover underneath.
It does, but I don't want to damage the cover. Your this is better shape than mine. Your cover.
Yeah.
But I think also because I've had it longer.
Yeah, you've had yours a while. Now
So
mine,
in case you're wondering, I have the book as well. So
there's a little bit of writing in the very back. Someone wrote an M in here, and then not sure what they were trying to write there.
death.
Oh, okay. So someone did cursive for death. It kind of looks like I want to say it looks like a kid.
Yeah, but sometimes girls who have they kind of have that very young handwriting, if you will, that kind of what I think of like an anime
Oh, okay.
of handwriting.
So it could be. So yes, there's that. Then the one we have in common.
The one right. Okay.
So
Okay, in my bag.
we got a lovely little package.
She said it was little. It's not little. It was very generous. This is from Kara, and she remembered us on our birthday. She was sorry it was late. We didn't care. I was just floored that she thought of us.
So I'm gonna, because yours is all together, I'm gonna show pieces so you know what to pull out. So first thing I'm gonna show is the repair hook, and this will just go with my other two repair hooks, the metal ones that are poking out of my amigurumi mug.
And there's two different sizes.
Yes,
here.
there's the 3.5 millimeter and the 4.5 millimeter, and they're little wood ones.
They're probably bamboo.
Probably. I can't tell. It's in Chinese.
Yeah.
It's probably bamboo though. Yeah, here's bamboo.
Yeah.
Then next, the little silicone cover, and look at the panda. Yours.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna open it. Just say, okay. She gave me ice yarn, 4 of them, because she knows how much I like the ice yarn.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't want to open it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm not gonna take the yarn out.
Yeah.
Ice yarn, which I think is a sport weight, and then she also gave me the
hook
thing.
But it was I figured it was covered, which is different.
For my cover, she had to turn around, so I had to take it out. Mine is a Mickey Mouse.
Or Minnie Mouse,
Or a
maybe.
Minnie Mouse. It's pink, so it's probably Minnie Mouse. Isn't that sweet of her?
Yes, it is.
We get spoiled. She said happy birthday to us, which is such a nice gesture. And it's not small.
It looks like this brand might also have a penguin.
Aw.
I look at the little bear. Always be positive there.
It's a very, very generous gift. And I'm
Yes.
so tickled pink
Yes.
by it. It's just very
I
sweet.
think she said that, well, it sounded like she might have been over there or something, because she said something to the effect of while she was over there in their dollar store, which makes sense with these two things having...
Yeah, although I think my ice yarn came from overseas buying it because she said the shipping was too much.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, she was very, very generous with us. I am super excited. This is going to be another baby blanket.
And talking about ice yarn, here is their hand-dyed.
And that's wool.
This is wool.
Wool, it's a wool acrylic or wool?
Wool nylon.
Wool nylon.
This is 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide, which is, nylon. And
That
isn't
sounds
that
almost like a
pretty?
Cloudborne.
That's going to be nice for a pair of socks.
Yep. Very pretty.
And I don't think it has a colorway name. Yeah, it's ice yarns. That's the main.
Ice cream. I mean, ice cream. Or sorbet. It looks like a sorbet.
And there might be a colorway name underneath of this. Yeah, it says Turkey. Yeah, made in Turkey.
It looks like sorbet.
It does look like it'd be a sorbet. So yeah, that's really pretty. And then this other one's really pretty too. Sock yarn Lucky Bag, and this is 75% wool, 25% nylon. It feels almost like it might be BFL the way that
It feels like Yorkshire
and
Yeah.
Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's 25% BFL for their amount of wool that they have in there. It's like 75% wool, 25% nylon, and 25% of the wool I think is BFL for them.
a quarter of their 75%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this one doesn't specify that. And this color name is 18.
18.
18.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why 18 is purple.
The sheep is winking.
It also has like some kind of
It says Happy Sheep on
creepy
it.
thing on his poor little body.
Now I think Happy Sheep might be the I don't think it's a colorway name. I think
No,
that's
it's the brand or what? No, not the brand.
not brand,
It's the base or whatever.
base, yeah, or
Happy
something.
sheep. Happy sheep.
So yes, let me just show you the cocky little sheep.
He's cute. Hey there, right?
yeah, hey.
Hey there, Flint Rider.
Baby.
Flint Rider.
The smolder.
The smolder. You broke my smolder.
So, and any other stash enhancement for you?
Hold on, let me get my show notes back. Okay. No, I don't think so. I have book stuff.
I have some session hands, but it just came in.
Okay.
So the first one is, okay, this is the one that, okay, I was recommended this tea by people on Adagio. I had to go searching for it because this tea is advertised as being good for people who suffer. Even on the one website, it even mentioned mast cell. So I talked to my doctor. She was really excited about me doing green tea. She said she also recommended in the morning a little bit of lemon with it and a teaspoon of honey. So I wasn't going to do that with my specialty green tea. This was going to be the one which is mostly a plain green tea of this kind. So it's called Benefici Green Tea. And I believe it's
Benefici.
I want to say it's a...
What if that means
Oh,
beneficial?
it's a Japanese.
I wonder if it means beneficial.
Maybe. The cultivar Benefici is similar to Assam black tea. It is developed to produce black tea in Japan, but this is a green tea. It's non-fermented, steamed, processed green tea. And then it has a brew time on there.
Is it a long brew time?
You have 200... Well, it says 2 or 3, but we'd be doing it 200
Right.
For 2 minutes.
That's not too bad.
Green tea doesn't tend to be very... You don't
Long.
tend to do it as long. So, yeah, it says it needs to be done at least 1 minute. But, yeah, so I will be trying this for breakfast tomorrow because I do struggle with a lot of congestion in the morning. And then the other thing, this was another recommendation by my doctor because I saw her on Thursday. It's a husband-wife team, and I'm never sure which one I'm going to see. So I am supposed to get finger splints because I wake up. Now, it's not like what you think of where you can't move your fingers.
It's not like the splints like you do for a broken bone or something.
Right, because that's all I could find. I had to go and look for one specifically for Ehlers-Danlos because it's not to keep me from moving my hands at all. It's to keep me from hyperextending because I'm hyperextending in my sleep. So every morning I wake up and my hands are so stiff and my joints, they're painful. So these are the ones you try on. I just want to... just because, it is an expense, so you want to make sure you get the right size.
So they have sizers.
Yes, they have sizers in here, and then they also have, it tells you where to measure. They have in here their little tape measure.
So you know that you're using the
So
right
you know
thing.
what you're using the right thing. It looks like they have a sizes worksheet so you can write down and keep your sizes.
You should have them scan that so you put it on file.
True. Well, I think anytime you order, but yeah, it's probably still a good
But
idea.
you should scan it empty and with your stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like, okay, so in here, this is called a multi-sizer. It looks like they sent 2 of them. So, what this is, go ahead and open one. She has a nice little system. She's a jeweler, a trained jeweler. She was from Puerto Rico. And she developed Ehlers-Danlos and needed some of these. So she's using her training. And what you do is, it's almost like when you use a zip.
Yeah, those are cool.
And it tells you the sizes on here.
That's cool.
Yes, I thought this was really awesome. Because you can even use this for rings if you want to. And you can just buy this from her. So say, it's like 50 cents or something, or $1 or something like that. So it's not quite worth the shipping. There's her handle with care. She talks a little bit about what Ehlers-Danlos is. I guess you can put this actually in your, it's emergency alert. You can put it in your wallet. Handle this patient with great care. So let me put this back in this so I don't lose it. And then here are the actual sizes.
Close that tie, you're going to drop it. Close the envelope.
I can't close it. It's,
Oh, it doesn't stick?
no, I'll put everything back in. Where did I have the big one go? I had a big envelope here. Oh, this is it. I'll put it back in here. So, put this back. Then it comes with you know approximately just from wearing rings what your sizes tend to be, and then she gives you, so you know, you can start feeling, does that feel about right? And actually, I think it's like that. Yeah, there it is. So this would be
Too big.
but no, it's too big. So I wouldn't do that size. And you go through and you just try them until you find one that fits. Like probably for, you see, but that might work for my, you see, you're supposed to have movement but not be able to hyperextend. You see, it's too small for this one, but this is the right size for my pinky.
Yeah.
So I can move, but there you go.
Right here.
Now I wouldn't knit with these on. Now this one's a good size for this, I think. And they have them so they can join up and they can cover this part of the finger too. This is just to give you a general idea.
This one would fit hardly here. So.
And you would just go through until one fits. See, this would be two, but this one's the right size for this. And definitely keeps you from hyperextending. You're able to bend, but you aren't able to pull.
You could type with this.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'll do. I won't knit with them because it could catch. But
Ty and I have almost the same size.
yeah. And you won't have the same size, for all. But, she gives you a chance. Actually, that's a really good size for that one. But yeah. So that's how she has a very good system. And I look forward to going through and sizing them so I can make my order. I'm basically doing the simplest because I don't really want a lot of frills, not only because it's less expensive that way, but also because I wear a lot of hand knit things. So as much as I like the ones with the little, curly type thing on it, that's going to catch on my arm.
Right.
Just by putting on sweaters and stuff. And I'm supposed to be wearing this at any point that I can, just to keep myself from hyperextending. It's not like, because I know you were concerned, you're going to get too used to having them and then you're not going to build up strength. As you can see, it's not that kind of thing. It's literally just to help me keep from hyperextending.
And we're going to have to move along because
yes,
it's 1:40 and Davina hasn't eaten yet.
So, yeah.
So, I will go really quick through the books that I read.
Yeah.
Ty's got a booktube.
Yes, I've got a booktube. Link is on the channel itself, but also at the bottom of the video. I will talk about all my book stuff there.
Occasionally we'll talk about a little bit here, but most of her book stuff is there because she gets on a roll and,
It is better for everybody if I don't do it.
As for me, I'm reading Abandonment to Divine Providence. I picked that back up. I am reading, this is my Bible study. Ty and I are doing it together, Hosanna. And it's...
Is this yours? It was on the floor.
I don't know what this is. It looks like mine, but it's not. Like one time what I might have done.
Okay, because it was on the floor.
I don't know where that came from. Maybe it might have been in here.
Okay, and then it fell out when your notebook.
So this is,
okay.
You can see that I'm writing in here. It's a really, I'm really enjoying this. And then the last things I'm reading a little at a time. I probably won't finish this by the time that's over because I was going to do it a certain number of pages a day, and then I realized that it's divided into sections, which is equal to or less than the pages I had, so I might not get through it during Lent. I'll just continue it through Easter.
Right, and I haven't started mine yet just because I received it
A couple days ago?
Yeah, and I just haven't had a chance to.
So that's all we have about that. We do have, for those of you who are Patreons, we do have, what is it, the live stream? It's a live stream this time or Zoom?
Live stream this time.
We have a live stream on Friday, so for the Patreons. So, be aware of that. And I think that's all we have to say about this now. We have to feed Davina. We have to feed ourselves. So we want to, unless you have something else to say.
I don't think so.
Okay. We want to say thank you to everybody who's commented either on YouTube or on PHN. Steph, I think, was on PHN. She told us who she was on YouTube as well. Thank you, Steph.
Thank you.
And then we have Looney Hiker, Paula, Kara, Wendy, Joan, and Andy. Thank you very, very much. If I don't mention you, it's because I haven't seen you from the time I posted my notes. So please, if you want to comment, please do. I actually answered everybody this time, so except maybe Steph. I might not have answered Steph. I saw her late. But we always appreciate your comments and your support. Thank you very, very much. We want to wish you all a very wonderful week, blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes you very, very happy. And we hope to see you next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 495, and that's a wrap.
Bye.